What's up, everybody? John from Old Running Farm here. Thanks for joining me. In today's video, we're going to talk about what to do when it gets super cold and how to take care of your alpacas. As you can see by this fountain right here, we had an incredibly deep freeze this past weekend. It was actually in the negative digits, and the wind chill, or the real field temperature that they call it, was in like -17 or something like that. We're here in Northwest Connecticut. It was big. So we're going to talk about just sort of what to do when it gets cold and you're trying to take care of your alpacas, because a lot of people have alpacas all over the country and obviously all over the world, and we're going to talk about how they do in different climates. So before I do that, I also wanted to say thank you to all of the people who gave me a tremendous amount of support after my last video sort of waded into a controversial topic when it came to the chicken feed conspiracy theories. And while I did get quite a few comments, you know, argumentative people, there were some people who had legitimate concerns, but also a lot of people who thanked me for putting that video out and for just in general putting it out. And so I really wanted to thank you guys. I feel like our channel has really cultivated a really nice community of just very nice people. So I appreciate all the support you guys gave me, and thank you for joining me. And I promise that's going to be the last one of those for a while, unless you really want to hear more. But I don't know that there actually is more. But, you know, maybe we'll talk about the moon landing or how the earth is flat and other things like that. Anyway, it's actually an interesting conversation, but it's around. So let's talk about alpacas. So if you're new here, if this is your first time watching a video by me, my name is John. My wife and I run Old Running Farm, and we are an alpaca farm and chicken farm in Northwest Connecticut. We have been raising and taking care of alpacas for about 5 years now, or 3 years, somewhere between 3 and 5 years. And we started with 3 on 1.8 acres. We now have over 30 acres, and we have 30 alpacas. So while we are not experts, we sort of, or at least, you know, I sort of pride myself on being the everyman's version of the alpaca farmer. You know, there are people who know way more than me. And there are people who go way far and beyond what I do. But what I try to do is just try to make it accessible for people, because there's a lot that goes into alpacas, but actually not a ton. But you can get real deep into it, and there's a lot of things regarding like fiber quality and fiber processing and all that kind of stuff. But to the title of this video, you know, what do you do when alpacas get cold? The main answer is nothing. The only thing, well, so that's not true. So it always depends on everything, right? It depends on what time of year it is. You know, for us, like, it was super cold, but it's the middle of winter, so everybody is nearing their full coat. You know, so they get shorn in May. So, you know, we're still about 4.5 months or so. Oh no, less than that, because it's now February. So we're like 3.5 months away from them getting shorn, and everybody's looking good. So they have their full coats on, and you know, alpacas originate from the Andes Mountains in Chile. So they do, is it Chile or is it Peru? You would think I would know this. They're from the mountains in South America. So, you know, they do better with cold than they do with warmth. This is Finn, our little baby boy, he's actually just getting to be old enough that we're gonna have to start figuring out a new spot for him. I think we're probably gonna throw him and a couple of the other boys in our other pasture over here. So that'll be good. Some of the girls. I also found that I do an awful lot of talking in these videos, so let me know if you'd rather me shut up and just show you the animals. But anyway, not gonna happen right now. This is Maple. She's Felix's mom. Felix is one of our boys down there. So we've had 2 births on this farm so far. Both of them boys, which is not ideal. But I mean, look how cute this little pooper is. But so, relating to Finn, so if he wasn't fully fluffed out, and we could have put a coat on him. So that's what some people do for younger alpacas when it gets super cold, is you can get like a goat coat or sometimes even a small horse blanket, will work to just give them some extra insulation. Hi, Lulu. How you doing? But in general, like I said, they're from the mountains, so they do well in cold. And you know, one of the great things about their fiber, and this is, we say this all the time to people because we sell alpaca hats. And so one of the great things about their fiber is how well insulating it is. So in the middle of winter, there could be 6 inches of snow on the ground. There's going to be 6 inches of snow on their backs. And that's because their fiber is so well insulating that their body heat never escapes to melt the snow. So you may think that, you know, they got 6 inches of snow on their backs, they must be freezing cold, but they're actually plenty warm because their fiber is so insulating. Now, insulating fiber does not mean wind resistance. So that's the key thing when it comes to winter and cold weather. The one thing that you want to be able to do is provide wind breaks for them. And that's why most people, when they have alpacas, will have a 3-sided barn, which really just provides, you know, enough to get them out of the elements if they need to. Now, we're in the plans of expanding this barn a little bit. We're going to add an overhang, because what happened last year is we ended up having some rain right before shearing day, so everybody got kind of wet. And that had to push shearing off, which again pushes the whole fiber processing thing off, so it's no bueno. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another, like I said, what did I say, an overhang. And then that way we'll be able to put everybody in the barn and they'll stay nice and dry when they're ready for shearing. Look at Cinnamon right there. She's so cute. Everybody's enjoying the sun today. It's a much nicer day out. A little bit of a breeze, but no big deal. Belinda, you're looking a little chonky. One thing we do sort of pride ourselves on is that we have quote-unquote healthy alpacas. Our vet said that they were pretty impressed that with the number of alpacas that we had, they all had enough weight on them, which is good. But anyway, so when it's cold, the most important thing to do is to just provide a wind break for them, because they will do well in the cold, they'll do well in the snow, and really, like, they almost never use the barn. So, you know, it'll be like 2 degrees outside, and I come out here at night to put the chickens away, and they're just all being potatoes out here on the ground, like nobody's in the barn. The only time they really go into the barn was when it's raining, and when it's raining like really hard, like not just like a drizzle, because they'll be out here in the drizzle, they'll be fine, they're all good, but yeah. So anyway, if you guys have any alpaca questions out there that you'd like answered, I'd love to answer them. You know, we've done a lot of alpaca videos, and obviously we are sort of, you know, it's one of the things we're really known for. But so if there's something that you want to know, if you're a beginner alpaca owner and you want to know something, always feel free to send us an email, or you can leave a comment down below and we'll check it out. So now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go see what else is going on the farm today, because today is a sort of busy day. So I just wanted to sort of get like the meat of today's video out of the way first. You always hate it when you're going to watch a video about something in particular and the guy spends 20 minutes talking about something else and then goes on and on about how he's whatever. Anyway, rather get to the meat of it first and then add some fluff at the end for you loyal people who stick around and watch our whole videos. So I'm actually gonna take a second. So we, like I showed you in the beginning, our fish pond was frozen, and we found that the fountain was spraying the water out, and then it was freezing, and then the water was actually getting out of the pond and then freezing. So we would have, if Catherine didn't catch it, we would have lost all the water in that pond. But so she got it, she unplugged it, and we had to use a chainsaw to cut a hole in the ice. The ice was like 4 inches thick or more. But so let me show you a quick video of that. the best way to make a hole in to make sure our fish is still okay is obviously the chainsaw. So, first attempt at ice sculpture.
Take one.
Go.
There we go. Is there still water in there? Not a lot. It's
Not
a good
a
thing
lot.
we turned it off.
Good that we turned it off.
But maybe we can, I'll do like buckets from the sink. Throw some more water in there.
Yeah, you want to take a look? I'm also very glad that we were able to build our emu house. And I'm also very glad that they used it, because a lot of people told us that you build an emu house and they never actually use it. But ours actually went in it and they used it, especially yesterday when it was freezing cold. They're just out and about right now, but so it was nice to see them actually use it and make use of it, because like I said, a lot of people say that they just kind of walk around. But so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to gather some eggs. Because it's cold, and I guess there weren't a lot of eggs this morning, so I just want to catch them before they freeze if I can. Well, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. Again, if you have any alpaca related questions, you can leave them down in the comments down below. If you want to actually talk about alpacas longer term, you can send us an email, oldreddingfarm@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, but would like to also make a video about it, so let me know. Thanks guys, see you in the next one.